What's up? Brandon Lilly here. Going to answer a real quick question. The question I got today is how often should I train my squat to depth in training? Well, my question to you is how often do you want to squat to depth in the meet? If you say every time, then I would say every time in training. And then the second part of that question was should I box squat or should I free squat? Here's my honest answer on that. Box squats are a great thing. Um, Not, I would say 80 to 90% of the lifters I've ever seen in my life, in every gym that I've ever been in my life, don't know how to box squat, including myself. I tried to box squat for 5 to maybe 6 years and maybe did three of them correctly. 3 reps out of 5 to 6 years. And that was because I sat too far back. I set my box height too high. My knees came in. I rounded my back over. I rocked my hips for momentum. And that was my fault. I let those things become okay in my training, and that's what a lot of other people do. They start seeing the weights go up, so they automatically think, "Oh, this is great. This is going to carry over." Well, how many times do you hear a guy say, "Man, I hit this big ass box squat going in the meet, fucking bombs." Well, think about it. On the box or in the hole, that is where the weight is the absolute lightest. And the guys that I train with, we call you hula hoop dancers. You get down in the hole 2 inches away, you look like a boss. Everything's looking good. Back's up, head's up, hips looking strong as shit. And then if you actually have to go to depth, what happens? Your hips start going like this. You start swimming, knees start going everywhere. Looks like you're trying to keep a hula hoop on your hip. That's because you don't train the box squat right, or that's because you don't squat to depth. So my answer to that, or what I believe is um, a better way to squat, is to actually put your gear on in full. Um, knee wraps, briefs, suit bottoms at minimum when you're going with heavy weight, and force yourself into the hole with straight weight. I prefer a reverse band upset, like let's say you're squatting with 800 pounds and you've done 5 to 6 singles, with 800 pounds, and then you go 850 with a reverse mini band, and then maybe 875 with a reverse mini band. Because still in the hole, you're going to have that 800 pounds of real weight. And my issue with downward bands has always been that they worked like a Smith machine for me. And I have a very strong upper back. So what I tended to do was I would round myself over and just bull it up and good morning it up in that straight line. Because I could accelerate the bar, because at the bottom there was so much discrepancy from the bottom and the top. And what I've decided to do now is I'll use a lesser percentage maybe. If it was going to be 80, 85% at the top with the bands, I might use 75% or 80% with straight weight. And then after I do my work sets, go on up. Because with a 75% at the top or an 80% at the top even, you're going to be at 55 or 60 in the hole. Well, with my way, the way that I've chosen to do things, if you unrack 75% or 80%, it's still 75 or 80% in the hole. If you have the reverse band, you're maybe at 85% at the top. You're still at 80% in the hole. Um, because the band should only deload whatever you add onto the bar in the bottom. So it should always be the same weight in the hole. And then you get the extra increase in weight at the top. That just makes sense to me. That makes sense to me that if I have weak hips and I'm slow as shit out of the bottom and I never hit depth, how am I expecting myself to hit depth with submaximal weight when my gear is the absolute tightest it can be? If your briefs are set and your knee wraps are set, even with your straps down on your suit, when you get to depth, that those briefs and that suit should be locking up so hard, and at the same time you're using submaximal weight. So what happens? Your knees come in, your ass tucks under, and you ball up just trying to hit the depth, get to depth. Use more weight, get stronger, learn how to fight the bottom, actually squat to depth for once in your fucking life. And I think that will make you a better person or a better power lifter probably make you a better person too, but it will make you a better powerlifter in so many ways. And that's just something that people have not been demanded to do. You know, the belief has always been that more weight is better on the platform, and it's not been one federation that's dropped the ball. It's been all of them. But lately, it seems that everybody is trying to come around a little bit, and that's a good thing. So if you train to the right depth in training, and you go to the meet and you get a little bit of a gift, that's to your benefit. But to go into training and squat high intentionally, and then go to a meet and hope that you get a good call, is like shooting on a 9-foot basketball goal for all your practices and then going to a game and shooting on a 10-foot. Obviously, you're going to be subpar. So take this into consideration. Don't knock exactly what I'm saying, all of it, because there is truth in what I'm telling you. I became a much better squatter when I stopped using the bands from the floor, and I started using reverse bands, and I started using a little bit higher percentage weight for my sets, and I removed the box. Now, for all you people out there who love the box squat and you love downward bands, I've given you some pretty valid reasons as to why I don't like them. I've not just said I don't like them. So whenever you all are commenting on the YouTube comment below, or ripping this apart in your head, I gave you my reasons, and my results speak for themselves. So, and it's happened too with my other teammates. Their squats have gotten higher as they've gotten away from the downward bands too. I'm not saying that's across the board, it will work for everyone, but we've just found a system that works for us, and that's what we're okay with.